warned this video will contain spoilers. This episode of The Serpent Queen truly pulled out all the stops, extending its runtime to cram in every bit of drama, betrayal, and intrigue. We kick off with Margot, who's understandably furious. Her mother, Catherine, is forcing her into a marriage with Henry, the son of Jeanne of Navarre. Margot's got her sights set on François de Guise instead, and her brother Charles, who has some seriously complicated feelings for Margot, promises that she won't have to go through with the marriage. But come on, Charles, Catherine's been playing this game longer than you've been alive. Your promise isn't worth much against her machinations. It's almost impossible to imagine what it would be like to have a mother like Catherine. Every time you think you've got a say in your own life, she's already 10 steps ahead, maneuvering you into whatever position best serves her plans. For Margot, that means marrying Henry, the future king of Navarre, regardless of her own desires. And let's be real, trying to escape Catherine's plans is an exercise in futility. Margot's impending marriage has everyone in a frenzy. The union with Henry is supposed to appease Edith, the Protestant leader, and prevent her from burning France to the ground. But appeasing the Protestants means sidelining the Catholics, and that's got the Catholic League and Antoinette de Guise in a rage. Antoinette hatches a scheme to sully Margot's reputation by having François seduce her. If Margot's honor is compromised, François can marry her instead of Henry. It's a twisted plan, and François isn't exactly thrilled about it. But Antoinette's threat to throw his Protestant convert brother to the wolves leaves him with little choice. What everyone fails to realize, though, is that Catherine is already 2 steps ahead. As viewers, we get the delicious satisfaction of knowing that she's onto their plans. François does as he's told, and Margot is surprisingly pleased with the turn of events. But Catherine's already informed Charles, who barges in on them and forces Margot into the marriage with Henry, just as Catherine planned. The situation gets even messier when Jeanne of Navarre demands proof that Margot is a virgin before the wedding. Catherine agrees, but not before sending Jeanne to her death via some poisoned gloves, courtesy of Angelica. Jeanne's out of the picture, and Catherine walks away without a scratch, leaving the Bourbon brothers to point fingers but accomplish nothing. Catherine then invites Edith to the wedding, dangling the promise of handing over the regency, a move that's more baffling than ever, but clearly part of a larger plan. As the wedding day arrives, the tension is palpable. Margot, understandably furious, is absent from the banquet. Meanwhile, Edith's followers are on edge, expecting something to go horribly wrong. They're right, of course. Catherine, Charles, and Edith are at the feast, but Margot and Henry are notably absent, with Margot fuming over being forced into the marriage. Edith presses Catherine about the regency, and Catherine delivers one of the most chilling moments of the episode by casually slicing Edith's throat with the dullest knife she could find, just before Anjou and his men storm in, weapons drawn. The room descends into chaos as masked men begin slaughtering guests, with everyone finally realizing that they've walked into a trap. In the middle of this carnage, François and Margot have a rare moment of connection. Henry lies about their marriage consummation to protect Margot, which seems out of character given his earlier apathy. But perhaps there's more to Henry than meets the eye. Montmorency, ever the optimist, asks Catherine to run away with him, but he meets a swift end in the courtyard, courtesy of Angelica. The slaughter continues, with Anjou's men targeting Henry. Margot intervenes, begging Catherine to spare him, and Catherine, ever the strategist, agrees, warning Margot that Henry might be more dangerous than she realizes. Charles, reeling from the bloodbath, faces a choice. Allow Edith's followers to storm the palace and kill them all, or opt for Catherine's preferred solution, murdering every Protestant in Paris. Charles, predictably, chooses the latter. As dawn breaks, the streets are littered with the bodies of Protestants, and Catherine pays Rahima a visit. There's a tense exchange about Rahima's future child knowing what Catherine has done, but Catherine ultimately spares Rahima, perhaps out of a twisted sense of fondness. The season wraps up with multiple characters swearing revenge on Catherine: the Cardinal, Rahima, and even the Bourbons, who somehow survive the carnage. And then there's Anjou, poised for a reign of his own next season. It leaves us wondering where the show could possibly go from here. Could they abandon historical accuracy altogether and have Catherine launch an invasion of Russia, becoming the Serpent Empress? The possibilities are endless. What did you think of the season finale? Do you think Catherine's reign of terror will continue, or is she finally going to face some consequences? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more in-depth breakdowns of your favorite shows.